Hello everyone, welcome back to another true crime news segment. As always, if you have a moment, please subscribe to show your support to the channel. I'm going to go ahead and not waste any more time and get right into this one. As you all already know from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about Harmony Montogomery. I have been following her case from the moment it started when investigators officially started searching for Harmony back in December of 2021. So over 2.5 years now. I've grown very attached to Harmony, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have during all of this. I've posted about her multiple times on Twitter/X. Every single time an article came out about her case, I immediately clicked on it, hoping and praying for a long time that she would be found safe and alive. I'm still outraged knowing what happened to this beautiful little girl at the hands of her own father. I've cried literal tears for Harmony over the last couple of months as everything was coming out. So this is a case that really means something to me. It's not a case that I take lightly at all. Harmony's case represents so many similar cases with other children around her age. It's extremely difficult to talk about and to comprehend these child cases. I have no tolerance whatsoever for people who abuse children in any type of way. There is a special place in hell waiting for these evil pieces of shit for when they die. When it comes to children, I don't have a filter, and I'm not going to apologize for the words I'm going to be using to describe Harmony's murderer. If you don't like hearing this type of language, I suggest you click out of this video or podcast now, because I got some things to say. As hard as this is, let me start by describing in detail of what happened to this precious 5-year-old little girl per the unsealed court affidavits for this case. Just a warning to everyone, as I know a lot of people understandably do not want to hear about gruesome details surrounding a child's death. What I will describe could be very triggering. If you want to skip this portion, I will put in a timestamp in the description below and on the screen now if you are watching this on YouTube. Harmony Montogomery was born into a terrible situation. Her mother, Crystal, is an on and off drug addict, and the dipshit of the story, her father, Adam Montgomery, who I will for now on only refer to him as AM or some other obscenity for the remainder of this video. I hate even referring to him as Harmony's father because he is the furthest thing from a dad possible. But he was in prison at the time when Harmony was born. CPS came into the picture very early on in Harmony's life, and she was taken away from Crystal due to her drug addiction and would be placed in a foster home on and off, returning to Crystal every so often until she would lose custody of her and her younger brother Jameson, again due to her illness. The foster home she was placed in before she was given back to the custody of AM was a very loving home. Her foster parents, Michelle and Tim Raftery, adored Harmony, and she loved them just as much back, if not more. The entire system failed Harmony. No one protected this child. No one had Harmony's best intentions in their mind. Her brother Jameson was adopted by a wonderful couple, and they tried to adopt Harmony as well, but clearly that didn't happen. In February of 2019, Satan himself was granted full custody of Harmony. I haven't looked into it honestly, but I hope the judge who made this decision to award AM full custody lost his job. This fucker should have never been awarded custody in a billion years. In and out of prison pretty much his entire life, all of the shady ass activity he's been a part of. I just don't understand how any person in their right mind would have given custody of a child to this man. It's beyond ridiculous, and the scariest part is that this isn't the only piece of shit who has been granted custody of kids. I'm sure there are hundreds, if not thousands, of biological parents who have no business in raising children, yet still have custody solely based on the fact that they are biological parents. Just because you happen to be the one to give birth to the child or provided the sperm that created the child doesn't make you a parent. It doesn't. If you consume as much true crime content as I do, the first thing you learn is that not every person should be a parent to the children they happen to bring into this world. It's statistically much more common for a parent to murder their own child than it is for a stranger to murder a child. These are facts. How many innocent children have to be brutally murdered before people understand this? I rather people give up their children for adoption or get an abortion than to follow through giving birth to the child only for them to suffer from abuse and God knows what else before they are eventually killed. Harmony's last 7 or 8 months of life was, I'm sure, filled with nothing but abuse at the hands of AM, and in my opinion, probably from her stepmother Kayla as well. Instead of being given unconditional love, Harmony was used as a punching bag from a dickweed who should have been the one person who would protect Harmony from anything. There were quite a few people who knew that Harmony was being beat. Kayla was one of them, of course. Harmony's uncle, AM's brother Kevin, was another person who later admitted to seeing Harmony with black eyes and even witnessed AM hitting Harmony on different occasions. Any of these people could have intervened and saved Harmony's life, but they either turned a blind eye or they didn't do enough to stop it. The family was evicted from their home just after Thanksgiving in 2019. After this eviction, the family of 5, including Harmony, were living in their car. During the trial, Kayla testified against AM and stated that Harmony had an issue with having accidents in the car and would not let them know when she had to use the bathroom. She testified that each time Harmony would have an accident, AM would punch Harmony closed fist in the face. I can't imagine how many times in total this baby girl must have been punched in the face by this disgusting grown-ass man. Makes me sick to my stomach thinking about it. According to the court affidavit, on December 7th, 2019, the family was about to go to Burger King to get food when Harmony had an accident in the back seat. AM punched Harmony in the face and head 3 or 4 times on at least 3 different occasions. Here is a video of Kayla explaining what happened during the trial.
What happened on your route from Habitopco to that Burger King?
Adam was getting really angry from Harmony peeing in the car, and he repetitively kept punching her on the way to Burger King, and there were a couple red lights, and when we were at red lights he would go over the driver's seat, like in between the passenger seat, and he was just punching her repetitively in the head.
How many times did he hit her?
I can't count, I don't know.
How many lights did that car come to where he repetitively struck her?
At least 2 or 3.
Between Habitopco and the Burger King, did the defendant say anything to Harmony?
He told her to shut the fuck up. Stop crying.
He said she was making a weird noise.
Yes.
Can you describe it?
It was like a moaning kind of noise, but crying. It was just weird. I can't explain it.
You said that Harmony's crying. She's making this weird noise.
Yeah.
Where was she in the vehicle?
She was behind the passenger seat.
And who was in front of her in that car?
I was.
You described the defendant almost coming over the seat.
Yes.
How was he striking her?
By punching her in the head.
Did he stop after that?
Shortly after that.
Shortly after that. Did he say anything to you when he stopped?
He said he thinks that he really hurt her. But he felt something.
When he said that he thinks he really hurt her, where was the vehicle at that point?
At Burger King?
At the Burger King?
Yes.
And what did the defendant do after he stopped hitting Harmony, after he said, I think I really hurt her?
Nothing.
Did you order food from Burger King?
Yes.
And what did you do with the food that he had ordered?
Ate it, gave some to the kids.
Did you see Harmony when you were giving them food?
No.
Why not?
Because she was under the blanket.
Who put her under the blanket?
Adam.
Where did you go from the Burger King parking lot, Kayla?
Went back to Colonial Village.
Was Harmony still under the blanket when you arrived at Colonial Village?
Yes.
And that moaning that you mentioned, that weird noise that she was making, was she still making it?
No.
Did you check on Harmony at any point after the moaning stopped?
No.
Did Adam?
No.
Why didn't you check on her?
Because I was scared.
When you arrived at the Colonial Village parking lot, when you arrived back there, what did you and the defendant do?
We got drugs and got high.
When you say we got drugs and got high, what drugs did you get, Kayla?
Heroin and crack.
And how long did you use those drugs for in that parking lot?
We were there for probably 10 or 15 minutes.
And what happened when you left the parking lot?
We made it to the next street over, going towards Elm Street, and the car died when we got to the traffic light, and it wouldn't start or anything, and so we were stuck without a vehicle.
What was the defendant doing when the car died?
He was trying to get a jump, and there was no jumping the vehicle, and so we ended up having to leave it. And when we were getting out of the car and getting the kids out of the car, Harmony had passed away.
This video was very hard to watch. Hearing someone who was actually there describe what happened to Harmony in her final moments, I can't even begin to describe how much Kayla's testimony pisses me off for multiple reasons. I despise her now ex-husband with every fiber of my being. I just don't understand how people like this exist, how anyone could hurt a child in this way and then proceed to get Burger King, eat, and then get high afterwards. And I know Harmony is only one of thousands of children are harmed in this way, and I just don't get it. And then after realizing Harmony was dead, AM immediately stuffed her body in a duffel bag and would hide her body for the next several months. According to Kayla, this sick fuck would keep Harmony's body in the trunk of the car or would even leave the duffel bag with her body in the snow in an attempt to slow down the decomposition. AM continued to hide her body in various places for months. He hid her in a cooler and in a ceiling at one point. It's truly unbelievable how many times he moved Harmony's body around in the following months after he murdered her. We know he broke down Harmony's body and he got rid of what remains were left of her somewhere. I can't stand how to this day her remains have still not yet been found. Harmony deserves to have a proper burial at the very fucking least. Add that to the infinite list of reasons why I hate this man. But now we have finally reached the point of this video where we finally get at least a sprinkle of happiness. AM was found guilty of second-degree murder of Harmony Montogomery and was also found guilty of second-degree assault, witness tampering, falsifying physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse this past February. AM, who at this point was already serving a 32.5-year sentence for unrelated gun charges, didn't have the balls to appear in court during the trial for Harmony's murder. His lawyer only commented that AM is still maintaining his innocence on the charges of second-degree murder, second-degree assault, and witness tampering, but he does admit to the abuse of a corpse and falsifying evidence charges. Which is so fucking stupid, by the way. How do you claim that you are innocent of the murder and assault charges, but also in the same breath admit to the abuse of a corpse and falsifying evidence? Can someone please comment down below and make it make any sense? Anyone with a brain cell can see through his bullshit. And thankfully, on Thursday, May 9th, so just last week, AM was sentenced to a minimum of 56 years in prison for all of the charges he was found guilty of. But of course, with this little glimmer of light, AM took this opportunity as the low-life piece of shit he is to really ruin this as well. Before officially getting the 56-year prison sentence, AM was given the opportunity by the judge to disclose where he put Harmony's body. He offered to reduce his sentence by 10 years if he only showed a speck of humanity and told them where they could find her body. And surprise, surprise, this coward refused to provide the location of Harmony's body. He could have given everyone closure, and he could have given his daughter the chance to have a proper burial, but no. I don't believe he will ever provide the location to Harmony's body. Why would he? He knows that he's never going to get out of prison, and being the only person who knows where Harmony's body is gives him power, and a person like this, they love having power. He is going to keep the information to his grave, like the true asshole that he is. Here is a clip of Crystal reading her victim impact statement during his sentencing.
To the monster who murdered my baby. I did not kill my daughter, and I look forward to trial to refute those offensive claims. That is all you have said about my sweet daughter's life. Another lie, like all the other ones you've told. Like the cover story you told, that you dropped her off with me, knowing full well and good if you had, she would be thriving right now. Not beaten and stuffed in a CMC bag where you put her. She had a life worth living, unlike your own. And it bothered you to your core that she was nothing like you and everything like me. Beautiful inside and out, funny, smart, sassy, loving, and most of all, kind. She wasn't a coward like you, and I'll be forever grateful for that. You're a coward who has to be in control of everything and everyone around you, insecure and paranoid. The list goes on. She is none of those things. She lit up a room when she walked in. She made a mark wherever she went, and you couldn't stand it. She was an incredible big sister. She loved her brother, Jameson, to her core, and I know she loved your sons too, no matter the picture you tried to paint of her. December 7th will forever be the darkest day of my life. The night you beat her to death, I woke up in the middle of the night in agonizing pain, from my head to my toes, and I felt like I was dying, not knowing, in the most brutal way, a part of me was dying. Suffering in that back seat for 20 minutes while you and your wife fed yourselves and your other children, and you got high. 20 minutes that you could have used to save her life. Did she cry for me? Did she scream? Did she beg you to stop? I'll never know. Because like I said, you're too much of a coward to tell the truth and do one good thing for Harmony. You may have taken her physically from me, but she is always, always with me. And I will forever look for her until the end of my days. But I hope that every day and every night you're on this earth, you hear nothing but my baby's giggle. I doubt you ever heard it in this life. All she knew with you was misery and fear. I hope you hear her sweet voice telling you to stop hitting her over and over, or how she looked the very last time you saw her, broken and bruised. You were supposed to protect her, yet you did the opposite. Harmony wasn't anything to you but property that you could throw away when she was more of a burden to you than a meal ticket. Your hatred for me led you to act on your monstrous, controlling ways, and you took her because you just could not let her come home where she belongs. My love for Harmony outweighs my hatred for you, but they both gave me the strength to listen to my instincts and to help the police put you away forever. Harmony will live on through me, and you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything to stop it. I wish you nothing but pain and misery for the rest of your pathetic life, and with or without you, we will find my daughter. I always knew you weren't a good person, which is why I left you. I just never knew to what extent, but now I know you're just plain evil.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Crystal loves her baby girl. It's awful that she lost her daughter and that she still gets a lot of heat from people who also blame her for Harmony's death. People want to depict her as a shitty mother who chose drugs instead of her kids. But at the end of the day, she is still a mother who has lost her child in a very horrific way. I do think people need to show her more sympathy. There is not a thing that people could say that could make her feel worse than she already does. And now she will live with the knowledge of what happened to her 5-year-old daughter for the rest of her life. Here is another victim impact statement from the dads of Jameson, Harmony's younger brother.
When we first adopted Jameson, he would always tell us about Harmony. He would tell us about her beautiful blonde hair. He would tell us about her glasses. He still does. He would tell us about her bright blue eyes. He would tell us about her wonderful smile that lit up a room. He would tell us that she was there to help him. Jameson has constantly asked us, where's Harmony? Recently, he once was struggling to go to bed. He looked off in the shadows of his closet and said, "Is that Harmony there?" looking back at me. These are no questions for a little boy to be asking. He no longer can hold on to that hope. Since learning about the death of innocent and beautiful Harmony, Jameson has suffered. Just a few weeks ago in school, his teacher asked him to draw a picture of his family. He drew a picture of his 2 dogs, his 2 brothers, his 2 dads, but then he put a heart above all of us, and inside that heart was the letter H. He said that was Harmony looking down on us. Jameson constantly asks us, "Who took my sister away?" Adam, you took away his best friend, his sister. You introduced murder into his life and forever created a void that can never be filled.
Before Jameson knew of Harmony's tragic fate, he would go to the door when the doorbell rung, and he would say, "Maybe she's found me." He would search a park, he would look at school, and if there was any girl that had blonde hair and glasses, he would go up to them and say, "Are you Harmony?" I'll never forget the day that we told Jameson that Harmony was in heaven. He's a very active kid, and that day he just stopped and he held us and he said, "No, I need my big sister." Why? Why did this happen? These are questions that Jameson has had and continues to ask. "Daddy and Dada, what happened to my sister? Why did she die? Why would anyone hurt her? How about her glasses? Were they okay?" In her family, we really believe in love and forgiveness. I'm just not sure how to teach her son how to forgive the monster that murdered his sister.
Just breaks my heart. No child should ever have to go through this. Them talking about how Jameson has been affected by losing his sister kills me. Harmony was such a light, and for her life to have ended the way that it did makes me lose faith. Harmony never did a bad thing to anyone, and she only got to live 5 years of life. Meanwhile, the monster who killed her will get to live the rest of his life in prison, where he will get free food, not have to work, although I doubt he ever even had a job to begin with that was legal, if we are being honest. He will get access to watch TV, go on the computer, receive medical care. He will get to go outside and exercise at certain times of the day, and everything he has will ultimately be paid for by taxes. The only thing we can all hope for is that his fellow inmates will be aware of what he had done to Harmony, and maybe they will beat him the way he had beat her. And when he passes away in prison, I hope Harmony is the one who gets to take him straight to hell, the only place someone like him truly deserves to be. But that is all that I have for this week's True Crime News. For those of you who have stayed throughout the entire video, thank you. I know this one was a hard one. I've had to stop and walk away multiple times while recording this myself. My final thoughts are that I hope Harmony's story continues to live on, whether people are posting her story on social media or other YouTubers and podcasters continue to cover her case. I hope Harmony's legacy leads to necessary changes within the foster system and child's welfare in general, so other children are spared from the same fate. But yeah, that is it from me today. Like and share this video if you think it's worth it, and I will catch you guys next week for case 27. Until then, bye guys.